Good evening or good night, fellow punters. It's still bright outside. The clock on the wall says 8 minutes past 8. First day over of Aintree this year. A bit later than I had planned. And I'm not just fully organised. I got delayed this evening. I asked a plumber from Galway to put an outside tap in on the back of the house last July. And he lands and does it this evening. So fair play to him that came and didn't forget about it anyway. But I a bit disorganised then, and I didn't have anything to eat yet today with all the race and everything that's going on. So I'll make it as snappy as I can. A few newcomers on the bus. Callum James, I think it was him that mentioned last night, was it, to put up a next best, and lo and behold, I did so for the first time, and it was boom boom. Ben Clark, 41. I think I mentioned him before, but he said to mention his best friend, Peter Hunt, who was only 44, who died recently of a heart attack. So very sorry to hear that, Ben, and condolences to you and his family. Stephen Richards is in Liverpool. Colin Greenfield is in Yarmouth. Yes, I may make it someday to Yarmouth. Actually, I thought heavy ground in Yarmouth. It's not too hard to pick the winners, but it doesn't happen too often. George DJX, Randy B, Terry Murphy. I think that's about it. You're all very welcome, and hope you enjoy the trip with us. We kicked off today with the winner, Banbridge. Different tactics, stayed up with the pace more so than usual, and given a great ride by JJ Slevin. He got the job done. 2-1, he drifted out. When I seen the sun shining before the race started, I was very hopeful, because I had seen someone leaving a message there this morning that there was a lot of rain overnight. I was getting very worried, because he was the one that needed the good ground, and good performance. Very happy with that. And then we had Zinta head down at the right time, 5-4 favourite. That opened up 2-1 2 nights ago with William Hill, and till 7-4 last night. It was a very good race, but the one in third was the horse to take out of it. I thought hands and heels up the stretch, step up and trip will suit. And then we had the race of the day, Shishkin. What a performance. Probably a lifetime best today. Looked all over. That was going to be second when Ahoy Senior put down the boot and headed for home. But Shishkin, great heart. He got everything right today, jumping wise. And if he had done even half less the damage in Cheltenham, he'd have won, and we'd have hit our hot pot Acume that day. But we got our money back today, and to pull so far away from a Pluter and Conflated being pulled up, Galaw being pulled up, I thought it was a tremendous performance. So looking forward to seeing him out again. Constitution Hill was absolutely class as well. But you'd wonder, he didn't pull away as dominant a force as he was in other races. That was his first time at the trip. So we'll see what to do. Will that make their mind up to go back to 2 mile next year, or go chasing, or what? The Fox Hunters, we got a place on this late night pass. Jumped a bit to his right a lot of the time, but rallied well, so we didn't lose any money on that. Dancing on My Own. You'd wonder, the stewards pulled out a horse the other day that there was money on, and that they weren't happy with the way it was coming. And you'd wonder, like today, that horse was second in this race last year, ran twice since. I backed it in Fairyhouse last December, but at the back of the pack it was beaten, I don't know, half a mile, and it was beaten a third of a mile the last time, and then money goes down today and it wins. and there'd be no questions asked because it's the top owner, top trainer. You'd wonder it should be fair play for everyone in the sport. I didn't agree with what was done to that trainer the other day. Douglas Talkin made a great effort. The ground went against us. It suited us with Banbridge, but then we lost out on Grey Diamond. But dancing on my own, that's Sean Mulryan, Roscommon man. Fair, he always gets a winner at the big meetings. And then Dysart Enos, and Dysart is in Roscommon. And I was very close yesterday evening, but I didn't want to complicate it. I thought it had the forum with Queen's Gamble, and we were on Queen's Gamble that day in that listed race in Market Raisin. And I think it was a Stephen Burke that had put up that there was a Roscommon owner in the partnership. And I must get back to him at some point. But we went out in front. We're never going to, on that ground, we're never going to stay in front. So, on to tomorrow. The 145. Now, the ground is good ground tomorrow. And Jerry Calamb, all the experts and people were saying all spring that it had to be heavy ground for him to run in Cheltenham. He got away with soft ground that day. He was second. He let us down. We were on him. But I can't go tipping him up at that price. I thought Complete Unknown was very impressive the last time in Kimpton. And I think the ground might suit this horse better. I know that Gallia Della Toe beat that, but that was in heavy ground. But the last day on good to soft, it absolutely thrashed Silver Hallmark, who's a really good, decent horse. And he jumped brilliantly.
To jump from here. Silver Hallmark a little untidy. On the right there, Complete Unknown with the red is drawn alongside, but he's responding, Silver Hallmark, as they move down to the second last. The pair are clear. One True King maybe narrowly in third place at the second last, and Complete Unknown jumps through there to a 2 or 3 length advantage. Silver Hallmark in second. One True King, Jack Mar, Galahad Quest, and Captain Tom Cat behind those. Final fence coming up. Complete Unknown at the last. Popped over it safely. Silver Hallmark took it in second. One True King in third position. Coasting to the line. He's not living up to his name. You all knew. You all backed him the way Sean that he's a good horse. Complete Unknown wins in good style.
I think he's worth the bet tomorrow to take on a favourite. Braun was third in that race as well. But a horse that he was 7-1 earlier, 13-2. I know it's risk and reward in this game, and I'd take on a 4-6 shot with a 13-2 shot any day. And if you win 3 or 4 of them in the year, you're still ahead. Like that's the way I punt. Now you don't have to do that. You can do a straight forecast because I think that could be second. Or you could do it without the favourite. Make up your own mind. On to the 220. The drier the ground, the better the chance Camprond has. We won on it in Punchestown last year, and I said that, or the next evening after, I said we got away with it because it rained. I was in Punchestown that day. And it was the ground, the water was getting into the ground all right. Then remember we backed it, the first run it had over fences and the ground was with it, but you could not jump. It was like a fridge. And a bar to that campaign after the jumping campaign after 3 efforts. U4B. It's like the name of a song. And when the ground was against it then, first time out, came down in the weights and it was third in Cheltenham and it looked all over a winner jumping the last.
Off your rocker as Camprond now has got into a 2-length lead as they level up for home. From in second place, Captain Conby. Langadan is closing. Nelson is there. Scaramanga, the yellow sleeves on the left. An epic song with that. But at the last, Camprond and Aidan Coleman with about a 2-length advantage. Crashed through it but got over it with a length lead. Now in second place, an epic song. Langadan in the blue and yellow as well. It's between this trio. Camprond to Langadan, the blue and yellow jacket. Between those, an epic song. They come towards the line. Langadan from an epic song. Camprond, Scaramanga, bold endeavour, Captain Conby, and good risk at all.
I think it's between the two horses there. The other horse I backed at 12-1 earlier is Captain Conby. Now, followers of the channel will know that we've talked about this horse a couple of times. And Keith Donoghue rode it the last time, and I thought he rode it too forward to the pace, in contrast to the time Kevin Sexton rode it behind El Salvador, and it closed to the line that day. It was well fancied that day, and there was money for it even the time it ran over 3 miles. 3 miles is too far. The distance is right, the ground is right, and that's why I backed that at 12-1 today, and I backed Camprond as well. They were the two I picked out. I have to be careful with this. I've the races in the wrong corner. I could have an accident. I should have put it over on the other corner. I know for tomorrow. On to the 255. Novices hurl. The Irish novice hurlers seem to be way better than the English novice hurls, and Found a 50 has sort of the best form, I thought. It beat that Parmenian by 9.5, and that won a race recently. And then it was second to Corbett's Cross in Naas in a grade 2.
Challenge and doing so Corbett's Cross. These two press ahead of Walk with Paul and then Jackpot to Schwazel. On the run of the final flight, nothing between Found a 50, the red cap on the inside of Corbett's Cross. At the last, let us Found a 50 on the inside of Corbett's Cross. In a great duel, 200 yards to go, nothing between Found a 50 and Corbett's Cross. They're going up towards the last 50 yards. Head to head, it's Corbett's Cross on the line. Corbett's Cross wins a thriller from the...
It's the 147. It's time back to Stud got a race, you'd imagine. On to the 330. The Melling Chase. Thacker Duderi's won a race this year, but I don't think he'd have won it if Hot to Calour. Well, I know he wouldn't, but it puts the one on the CV. And I was against it the last year, even though we backed it the last 2 years in this same race. But I don't think it's the same horse. It's 8. It's a lot of miles up. It started young, like it was jumping as a 4-year-old. So there's 5 seasons, you know. I'm on Hitman. I think there's a couple of excuses for a couple of runs there. We were on him in the old Roan Chase the time he was second to Riders on the Storm. He was giving it power of weight away. Then he won again at that trip, 2 miles, 5.5. He ran in the King George. He's supposed to have bled. And then he didn't stay at nearly 3 mile to Zanza in Newbury. But the last day in the Ryanair, I thought it ran a great race altogether that day.
Still travelling powerfully towards the outside. Blue Lord is staying on. Shishkin looking for racing room. So too is Hitman. Then Janadil towards the wide outside. On the run down now towards the final fence. Envoi Alain goes on for Rachel Blackmore. French Dynamite on the inside. Hitman and then Shishkin only fourth. Over the final fence. Envoi Alain by about a length to Hitman, who will now challenge in second. Back in third on the inside, French Dynamite. Shishkin looks held in fourth. They've got another 150 yards to go. Envoi Alain is out in front, and he's going to win at the festival for the third time. The Ryanair goes to...
I think nice ground like that on... I know Willie, or what do you call him, Harry Cobden has chosen the other horse. But you'd often see that could, if you look at it, Shishkin beat the Laird out of Pictory in Ascot that time, and Hitman was closer to Shishkin, even though Shishkin didn't run to its full merits that day. But I'm on Hitman tomorrow at them prices. The 405 is the top one. Burrows Saint won an Irish Grand National as a 6-year-old. So it was well weighted, well handicapped at the time to win. That was in 2019. It was off 144. It was fourth in the Grand National the year Manila Times. And it's good to soft, and it if we look at what it says, prominent second at the 22nd, that's Beecher's the second time round, every chance before 2 out, hung right after the last, fourth and weakening before the elbow. So it was right there at 4.25 mile. So this is back to 2 miles 5. It's a good old jumper. To the 12-1 shot there. It's into tens now. Patrick Mullins. Willie has won this he won it in 2019 and 2021, and it has one prep run for this. So it's his Gold Cup, and as an outsider, as he had 50-1 in some places there, Kiltealy Briggs might be worth a couple of bob each way for outsiders. I like Jamie Snowden's horses, but it has ran a couple of times in Aintree. Now it hasn't run over those fences, but it was fourth to Brave Shashka, and it was second to Linley King. Fences are different, but it's a safe enough old jumper. So with Adrian Heskin for Jamie Snowden, I thought that that might be worth a shot each way for someone that's like a real big outsider. The 440, no Irish horse has won this since 2005. The favourite is Absolute Notions. There's Maximilian hasn't ran since it beat Stay Away Fay in the end of January. I don't know, is that intentional that they just waited to go for this? But Stay Away Fay, I thought was a little bit unlucky in that race, and he improved greatly the last day. Lightly raced. This is in the... It's more a front-running track in Aintree. He's the highest rated as well, isn't he? 148 after his last run there. The fact that Paul Nicholls brings him back after a month, Nicholls, if he has other horses that he decides, well, look at, he's fine, let's go for it, because he's a careful sort of a trainer. So what price is he? 5-1 there with Paddy Power. Like, that'd be a solid each way bet there, paying 4 places. On to the last. The lucky last, as some people call it. For conditional jockeys. We have a little horse there that done us a good turn the last time. JPR One. I was saying he hadn't ran since in the Supreme Hurl when he came up against Constitution Hill. I was saying he was probably nicely handicapped. He only went up £4 for that race at Taunton. He's gone up to 131, isn't it? It's 131. But that's the original mark that he got when he went handicapping. This is him here, heading for home, and the bus beginning to get up and shout him on.
Second place in the end, and Simbizi fixed, followed by Mr. Grey Sky and Liberty Hunt, and all of a sudden they've strung out. So it's JPR One on the run down towards the last hurdle from in the air. JPR One at the last now is over with a few lengths on in the air, who is trying to come back for more. 100 yards or so still to go, and JPR One carrying top weight will get the job done after a lengthy absence. Mission accomplished. JPR One the winner. Second place in the air.
You'd hope that race would bring him on. So that'll be the selection in that race. We have Ballinrobe on tomorrow evening. Somebody asked last night, I think to Danny Joyce, I'll probably go, if it's an even like this evening, I'll probably go. And the first race is at 10 to 5, last one is at 10 to 8. So I could skip the last bumper and be back and get a video up around maybe 9:30 tomorrow night. But we have Carbon King running for us. He has won the last twice. And he could have been 3. Remember the first day he got a sort of a difficult ride. Won the last day by your side. By your side has won since. But there's a bit of a fly in the ointment tomorrow evening. I was in Limerick the last day when Captain Conby won. Have a look. I hadn't the video set up for it, but I don't think they expected it to win, or I don't think they wanted to win. That it wasn't a bob for it, but he couldn't resist. He had to win. He hands and heels coming up the stretch. And I seen the eye contact because I was there. I moved over to the parade ring just to see, and the body language. It wasn't. They weren't very expecting it, I'll tell you. So he's gone up £13, I think, isn't it? And Philip is on tomorrow. So that's well handicapped. Whether the handbrake is in what position is the tomorrow. So I wouldn't be going mental on Carbon King, but the fact that we won on it twice, he'd go out in front as the front runner on the track in Ballinrobe, and that Captain Conby, I don't know, you'll have to read between the lines what I'm trying to say. But there's one more that I was looking at in where are we? The Mayor's Handicap Hurl, was it? 9 Graces. That could be well handicapped for Barry Connell. It's only 112. And beat Law Ella. Law Ella has won since. That was a decent enough Mayor's Maiden Hurl. So they're not bringing it to a big track. They're bringing it over the west. Long old spin from. Oh no, he's in Meath, isn't he now? He's not in Foxrock anymore. But that's it now. Got him 25 minutes on. I didn't make it that long. Bash the bookies over and out.